Hey pretty friends, if you're ready to learn how to make a romantic farmhouse swag on a budget, then this video is for you. Stay tuned and I'll show you how. Hey everybody, welcome to Pretty Things with Halo Wreaths. I am Nancy and today we're going to be working on something a little bit different, for me anyway, because I'm out of my comfort zone. My 17-year-old daughter brought home some flowers, and she was like, Mom, make me a wreath, make me a wreath. I love these flowers. I bought them. And they are calla lilies. And calla lilies are so hard to make a wreath with, in my opinion. They make a better bouquet, right? It's hard to match other flowers with them. They just look beautiful on their own. They stand out more on their own. So, I'm going to make her a swag. She's already got a wreath on her bedroom door, sort of a cottagecore style wreath on her door right now that I made. So what I'm going to do is make a paint stick swag. And let me show you. The first thing you'll need are these paint sticks. I got them at Walmart for $1 and change. They are, I think they're 21 inches long when I measured them. It's not marked out. I generally mark those on my own. And then, as usual, I haven't made my mind up yet. I'm going to have multiple choices. I'm just going to look and see what I decide when I get there, right? Okay. So the first mesh option I have is this, it's like a Deco mesh and poly burlap kind of meshed into one. Anyway, it's fabric too. It's got jute in it, so I have to cut this with the roller. Anyway, natural and tan. They're cute. And then I also have, I have just a little bit of a natural roll. So I thought in the end I may do just some fluffies with this. I don't know. I have another natural. I've got another roll of this too, so I've got plenty of it, and this may be my base with this as the accent color. What do y'all think? This is actually more of a fabric mesh. It is fabric mesh. I can read the label. It's fabric mesh. Where did I get all this stuff? Temu and Hobby Lobby is where I got the mesh, the different meshes. I do have one more mesh option, just in case I decide to use it. I pulled it out, and that would be the Deco mesh squares I got on sale at Hobby Lobby for $3. Yay! Have 19 left. I even labeled it 19 left. Okay. And finally, for my ribbon, no, I got to show you the flowers. That's not finally. Let me show you the flowers. Okay. So the florals I've decided to use are, this is one stem of what she brought to me. And there, I don't know if you can tell the color really good on the screen, but it's a very, very pale pink color. Very, very pale shade of pink. So, we're just going to go with that. And I was trying to think, geez, what color would go with that? So, I found these that I have, and I'm going to use them together. Once they're all cut up and laid out from one another with the tan and natural and green, it's going to be really cute. And then also, to go along with it, we've got some pink, what is this called? Pink stained eucalyptus. It's like a pink tinted eucalyptus. There's only 5 on here. That's all I have, but I can make it work. Okay? And let's see. I've got this, I think it's called lavender. I think that's what they called it in the ad. Anyway, this is from Temu. Lavender, white lavender is what they called it. I've got a ton of this stuff, and it's a nice, nice filler. And finally, I have some pretty pink shades, pink and light peachy shades of roses. And I'm definitely probably going to use the lighter, this color here, or maybe these. I haven't decided. I may just use a whole multicolor of them. I'm not sure. You really can't tell where the placement's going to be of everything until you get it together. So, without further ado, and let me stop chattering, and I will get set up and ready to create our wreath. Are y'all ready? Let's go. There's one other item we're going to need, and that's chenille stems. Forgot to say that. I don't have any that are going to match perfectly, but I've got some. They're usually hidden anyway, so we'll match as close as we can. All right, now I'm ready, and I'll see you guys. Okay, y'all. Here's what had happened. What had happened was I was cutting mesh with the roller and my phone rang. And so, of course, I had to pull it down because it was on the little doohickey, the stand. And it was my mother-in-law. Of course, I had to answer it, right? So I pulled my phone down and I'm fiddling with it, trying to answer it because the screen's on here and this, that, and the other. Anyway, I deleted my whole first segment, so whoops. But let me tell you what I did. All I did was cut mesh. It wasn't that long. So I cut right here. I cut 12 rolls of 20-inch mesh, okay? I know I'm the most awesome tutor in the whole wide world, right? Okay, so now I'm going to try to put this phone back up and not delete anything else. And I'm going to try to look at the actual camera eyeball, not myself. And I will continue with the tutorial. Okay, y'all? All right. Okay, so now that that little fiasco is over, done with, I need to get my board back on here, my glass cutting board. All right. Okay, so here's the deal with the this mesh. Oh, I think, you know what? This last video y'all didn't even get to see it, so I'm not even going to explain it because basically I'm left-handed, so I have to use the wood burner on this side and I have to use the rotary cutter on this side. So who'd have thunk it, right? Okay. So I'm cutting 20-inch pieces of mesh. This is the second color I decided to go with. The first one was the cutesy natural blend with the ivory. And the second one is just this is a leftover roll that I had that had already been opened. And I actually found it after I cut off the first video. So we're going to use it. And we're going to cut 20 inches. And I gotta get a ruler so I can figure that. Where'd my ruler go? I just had it. Here it is. All right. So the mesh is. Oh, dang it. Okay. I don't have much space here to work with, y'all. So my board is 18 inches long, which is not very long at all. So I generally will do like I've seen others do. I will just grab a ruler and figure out what 18 plus 2 is. In this case, though, I'm going to be cutting. No, I'm going to be cutting down here. No, I'm cutting over here. What am I doing? Y'all, it's so bad. Okay. I'm cutting, rolling, rolling, rolling. Okay, it's got to come from this side. All right, so nothing, no big deal. I'm just losing it tonight. Okay, so I need 20 inches. So I know that I've got to go back this way. I think it was. I have all these lines marked on my table. Y'all probably can't see them, but I can. Okay, now. It's right there. All right. Okay, so I know that if I pull my mesh out to right here, this is 20 inches from the 2-inch mark on my board. So now I'm going to slide my glass down where I can, slide my glass down where I can get to 2 inches. Jeez, I need a bigger table. Okay, now I think this should work. Maybe I just need to go to bed and start again tomorrow. All right. As I was saying, I am cutting 20-inch pieces of mesh. God, y'all, I can't get a minute's peace in my house. And it's 11 o'clock at night. I mean, come on. All right, if that dog barks one more time. Okay. So, super quick. This is very standard. Nothing new about me doing it. Nothing different about me doing it. I'm just cutting mesh like everybody else does. On the... Trying to stay in between a row, so I don't have a bunch of stuff hanging out here and there. That way you don't, if you try to stay in line with these little rows here, it won't unravel as much. So, I'm not saying it won't unravel, but it won't unravel as much or fray as much. So I only need three pieces of this, okay? Because I only need 15 pieces in total. Okay, I was going to just fast forward through this, but I can let y'all see it with me. Or I may have to hit pause again. I don't know, because something's going to happen. Anyway, trying to stay within the line is not always possible because some of these things tend to be like crooked. I don't know. Like they got stretched during the rolling process or something. I'm not sure. I don't know how that happens, but I'm not a mesh maker. I'm a wreath maker. Okay. So this is the last piece I need. And then we can move on to the paint stick. And turn this thing off. Because honestly, I don't like it being on in my house. But I turn it off immediately when I'm done. Always. Alright, and just like that, poof, we're done. Okay, that was the power button going off. Alright, so the next step is going to be to put our, let me put this roll up. The next step is going to be to put our twisties on our chenille stems. I call them twisties, whatever they are. Chenille stems, what are they called? Pipe cleaners on the paint stick, right? So, again, I'm going to get my ruler out real quick, my little old school, elementary school ruler, and I know my board is 18 inches long, so this is 20 inches. Okay. Thought it was 21. Seems like last time I used it, it was 21 inches. Either way, probably was. But, alright, so if it's 20 inches, the center, oh, I hope I can reach a pin. I've got so many flowers up here. Alright, the center is going to be right at 10 inches then. If I turn my ruler around, I might be able to find it. Okay, let's do this again. I could have just used the ruler that's underneath here, but that wouldn't have been as fun. Okay, so I'm just going to mark it with my little red, whatever first pin I could reach. Okay, so if it's 20 inches long, we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 4 inches apart. Okay, so I'm going to start with the 10. 10 minus 4 is 6. And 6 minus 4 is 2. All right. Sorry to make y'all do elementary school math. I'm sorry to make myself do it, actually. All right. Now, 4 inches this way. And 8 puts us right here about at the handle. Yeah, I'm going to move that one a little bit further up. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. Now, let's see. Last time I did this, I needed some extra buffering right in here and here. So I think where I'm going to add my extra centers, I'm going to do one in here, here, and here. Because the top and bottom already have 3 pieces on them. So now all 5 sections will have 3 on them. Okay? You'll see. Just trust me. I don't know how to say this out loud. What I'm doing is there are going to be 5 sections of chenille stems tied to my paint stick. And so I'm going to go back after that's done and tie an extra one to come up in the middle. These are going to go side to side. These are going to go from the middle. Does that make sense, y'all? I hope so. I better turn closed captions on. Because I know a lot of y'all can't understand me. Okay. And I normally use a stapler on my paint sticks. I just staple my chenille stems down. However, we have the gate closed to our bedroom, and my dog cannot go in there. And my dog is scared of the stapler. That's another wacky thing she's scared of. So I'm just going to twist them on and then hot glue them down. So that means I got to plug in the hot glue gun. All right, let me plug in the hot glue gun. Unplug that, plug in this. My poor dog. I don't know what's made her so scared of everything. She just is. Okay. Alright, the hot glue gun is heating. I really wish I could use my stapler though. I really do, but it's okay. This is for my house, so it's not like I'm selling it. Alright. Now, 15 chenille stems. Actually, I'm going to need 16 because I'll need 1 to do the hanger with. So I'm going to start with as many brown ones as I can find in this bag. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's 5. Okay, so I'll have 5 of those. Next, we'll move on to green. See how many green chenille stems I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stop it. I pulled out 15, just like that. Okay. I'll grab 1 more to be the hanger. Okay. Excuse me. I didn't realize how bad my allergies were until I started watching my own videos. And then I was like, gosh, you have a lisp when you talk, and you sniffle all the time. I didn't know that. Y'all do. Alright. So, let's start in the center. And what I'm going to do, I wonder if we should just try to use the glue gun and not scare Maggie. I mean the stapler. Because it's so much more secure when you do it that way. Alright, I'm just going to do it the way I know how to. Let's see. I'm going to be a good puppy dog mom and not scare her. Because she doesn't have anywhere to run and hide. My son has kids over in his room. So we have the gate closed. Where she can't go back to the bedrooms. Alright, so I've just twisted a couple on there like that. And I will not bore you with the rest of me putting on these chenille stems. You're going to see in just a minute exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so real quick, I'm just going to show you from this direction. Move this, it's kind of in the way. All right, so this is what I normally do. I put 5 sections on here 4 inches apart because this is 20 inches long, so we make our 5 sections 4 inches apart, right? That's pretty simple math. Now, what I'm going to do is add another set of chenille stems right here at each mark I have on my board, because I want them to have a little more fluffiness in the center. And since I'm not using the poof method, I can't do that. I've got to add another chenille stem if I want more poof, right? Okay, so I may need one down here too. We'll see. We'll see how it looks when we get down there. Or I may leave it open for a big pretty bow or something like that. I'm not sure. Oh, you know what? I missed two pieces. Okay. I'm going to give these good twists, and then I'll fold them back over. There, they all just kind of, that works. So I've got my little door hanger loop. Okay. I've got to put my 3rd piece on for the top and bottom. Alright, so now, if y'all understood this through my bumbling mess, what I said was the green chenille stems will be angled towards the left and the right, and the brown chenille stems will be angled straight forward. Okay? So, I have 5 brown chenille stems and 10 green chenille stems. Okay? Alright. So the next thing I think is to start folding our croffles. Yeah? I think so. Okay. Let me, ooh, I can reach them, that's great. Okay. I'm going to, oh, I need my clip. Where is my clip? I can't find it in all this mesh, this meshiness. I can't find my clip in all this mesh. Great, I know. Oh, there's a clip. This one will work. Okay. Okay, so, like I said, we're doing the woodland ruffle or the cruffle. This is a very popular technique right now. Everybody knows it. So, I'm just going to show it to you real quick. This mesh is really hard to roll. It's kind of working against me. It wants to stay the way it was originally folded and not go the way I want it to. So, to start, we're going to start with our 20-inch pieces, And I'm gonna fold a little curl here. Just fold it under like 1, 2, 3 times if I can. All right, so I've got my 3 rolls there, just 3 small twists. And then we'll do the same on this end. 3 small twists, or 3 small rolls. Like I said, it really doesn't want to go. This mesh doesn't. Okay, and then you're just going to gather it together all the way to the top. Jeez. All right. Well, there's our ruffle cruffle. I may want a pancake ruffle. Maybe on the bottom and the top I'm going to do the pancake ruffle so that this little area right here will be filled in. But on the left and the right I'm going to do this particular fold. Okay, so I'm just going to start anywhere. This is going to go in the green ones. Just start on the right side of this board, or as you're looking at it, the bottom. And just going to go right on through. Give it a couple of good twists. Now, normally if I were making this to sell or something like that, I would have hot glued all this stuff down. But I'm not. It's just going to be on my teenage daughter's door, her bedroom door. So it's not going to see too much. Well, I don't know. It might see a lot of opens and closes and slams, but it won't see any weather. Okay. Lord, I hope not. Okay. This mesh looks like a butterfly when you fold it. Look at that. It looks just like a butterfly. Okay. So the next piece, going for the wrong mesh. All right. This needs to stay down here. It's not cooperating. 1, 2, 3, 3-ish folds. And away we go. I did that wrong. Duh, Nancy. All right, 3 folds. Flip it around and do 3 more folds. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just sleepy. I'm not sleepy. It's just late. I got up early and it's late. I should have been in bed already. Here I am goofing around at the crafting table like everybody else probably is right now. This is kind of my me time. It's supposed to be my me time anyway. Right now I got 3 14-year-old boys in here, so not much me time. Bottom. All right. Pull these chenille stems tight, especially since I don't have them glued down, so I want to pull them really nice and tight. Make sure everything holds together. Okay. Since this mesh is so thick, you know what though? It may look great. I probably will. I'm trying to decide now, do I even need this extra the brown, or my extra ones, as I'm going to call them. Yeah, I need them. Let's just keep going. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to finish folding my woodland ruffles and putting them on my paint stick, and I'll just speed through that, okay? Y'all can watch me. Okay, y'all, here we are. I have gotten all of the mesh added. Well, I'll be doggone. It's going to start peeling on me now. Okay. I've gotten all the mesh added, and it's really, really beautiful. I'm glad I decided to go with that extra mesh in the center, because it just... I made another one a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't put this mesh in the center. And boy, I really wish I had, because it would be extra awesome. But oh well. But yeah, I hope you can see it pretty well. This wreath is about, let's see. Yeah, it's probably about 24 to 26 inches long. But let's see if I can hold it at a better angle for y'all to see and not burn anything. Isn't that cute? So it looks just like that on the other end. There we go. So you could use this horizontally or vertically. And a couple of takeaways from rolling the mesh and everything. Poly burlap is really not the best material to use when you're rolling mesh or cutting it and using the woodland ruffle method or the cruffle method. It's just super mega thick. I did a Christmas wreath with it, and I had forgotten how unforgiving it is when you go to load it in your zip ties. It's really super, you got to put some muscle in there to get in there and hold it in. But yeah, I'm really happy with the way this turned out. So now it is time for me to start working on my ribbon and flowers. I think I'm actually going to start with a bow first and put a bow, I don't know which end, this is top here. So I'm going to put a bow up here and right here, and we're going to work with ribbon flowing down in the center like that, and then we're going to have flowers on either side of that ribbon. I think it's going to be really pretty. I've done something like that before and it looked great, so I'm going to do it for her, for my daughter, which is this wreath is for. Okay, so break time, and I'll see y'all back here in a minute. Alright, we're back. Okay, now I'm going to start working on the ribbon, and as I said in the last clip, I wanted to make a bow in the center and just have the tails coming down right in the middle of the wreath. So I'm going to use two different ribbons, and I'm going to have only one tail coming down from those ribbons. I know that sounds wacky, but you'll see. I'll have a tail at the top and a tail coming down at the bottom. And this ribbon is beautiful. It's pink velvet with gold on the back. It's really thick and nice to work with. It feels great. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and trim my dovetails here before I start. Okay, I always have to stand up before I work on a ribbon so I can see it. I know that may be crazy. Maybe my chair just needs to be a little bit higher. I'm not sure. Anyway, okay. I just let my ribbon roll drop to the ground. And I'm going to slide my glass plate up there. I dropped my ribbon. Okay. I like to do that because it gives me a surface I can push against. When I slide my glass cutting board up, I can put this bow maker against it, and I have something that kind of holds my bow maker steady. Bow makers need little slide grips on the bottom of them. That would be helpful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have just some smaller tails. They don't have to be gigantic, maybe 4 inches or so. So I'm going to start with like 4-inch tails, and those tails are going to come out of the top. And then the second tail will come way down from the bottom, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is scrunch up my ribbon here. I'm going to move down just a little bit. Okay. And place it like that. See how that bow maker slides? Okay. Now, I'm going to twist my ribbon. Actually, I'm going to twist it in the opposite direction because it's really thick. Okay. Make sure I got it super twisted. Goodness, this stuff is thick. Okay. Now, geez. Alright, what size loops do I want? This thing is about 10 inches wide. So I want to do, let's see, I'm thinking maybe, yeah, 5-inch loops on the bottom. Okay. So I'll do 5 inches. Going out to the 5-inch mark on my bow maker. Or if you can do this by hand, then by all means, go for it. I'm going to twist in the center so my ribbon is upside down. Bring it back over and match my 5-loop bow on the other side. I mean my 5-inch loop bow. It might end up being a 5-loop bow. I don't know. Okay. Let's see. Does that look even? Eyeball it. A little bit bigger. Okay. Now, I'm going to twist. Bring it back around. This loop will be just a tiny bit smaller. Maybe a 1/2 inch smaller. Okay. So there we go. We'll do about a 4.5-inch loop on that side. Spin it upside down. Good ribbon does require a lot of elbow work. Okay. And flip it over and bring it back around. Okay, so I'm only going to use 2 loops in the back. And then I've got the ivory that we're going to use, okay? So we've got 2 of these loops here. Let me fluff them up and make sure that looks about right. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. And now I'm going to use the tail. I want it to cascade down the swag. So I want it to be fairly long. I don't want to waste all my ribbon, but that swag is 24 to 26 inches long. So I'm just going to cut about a 20-inch tail. And I'll go ahead and dovetail it. And then we'll start with the ivory ribbon after that. Let me pick my ribbon up off the floor. Okay. Roll it back up and stick a pin in it. Lost my pin. Okay. Here we go. Now, next is this, I got this pink velvet ribbon on Temu, believe it or not, I did. And it was like 40 yards, 25 yards, something like that. It was more than 10 yards. Okay, this is the ivory ribbon, and it has a really sweet border on it. It's got a beaded gold border, if you can see that. And it feels really nice. It's got a nice texture, almost like linen. I got this at Hobby Lobby. Now we're going to drop it on the floor, and I'm going to go ahead and trim my dovetail here. Okay. And I'm going to try to match that size. I don't have to scrunch on this one because, yeah, perfect. Okay, I just basically matched the size of the other tail, okay? And unfortunately, this beaded stuff is not two-sided, so you do have to flip this over. So I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to bring my ribbon down to about 4 inches now on this loop. Stay down there. It's wanting to run away on me. Okay. Hold on, it popped out of place. There we go. Okay. Now, about 4 inches, I'm going to have to hold on to it. Let's see. There we go. It's about at 4 inches now. So in the center, I'm going to twist. Twist the other way because it's easier. Okay. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, bow making is hard. The rest of the stuff is easy to me compared to making bows. It's really work. Okay. About 4 inches on this side. Bring it down and twist. Okay, we're going to come down about another 1/2 inch. Roll out some more ribbon here. On this side, I've come in about another 1/2 inch, but that doesn't look about even. Okay, now, there we go. Even, and let's see, we want 2 loops. And then I think I'm going to do the center smaller loop out of this material as well. Pull it back here. Yeah, okay. My loops are not the same size. I'm going to pull this last loop out. This one needs to be a little bit bigger. Okay. Now, twist. And hold and twist. Okay. I want to make sure my loop sizes are the same because your loop just, I mean, your bow just won't look right if you don't. Alright. Last big loop. I want to make sure it's the same size as the opposite. And it is. So now I'm going to do a third loop, but this one is going to be just my small center loop for the bow. Instead of wrapping it with coordinating ribbon or whatever, I'm just going to do a small little center bubble in the middle. So I'm going to bring that down about, yeah, I'm only going to pull that out about an inch or so. Just, I want that to be the size of my center. Okay, and now, twist that around. I'm going to bring it down and trim it off at the same area, the same length, should I say, as my pink bow. Okay, so I've got my tails trimmed. Now the next step is getting I use a zip tie. You can use a chenille stem or floral wire, whatever floats your boat. Okay, let me grab a zip tie. Got them in this tin that my husband suggested I use. Okay. Oh, let me pick my ribbon up off the floor. The crazy noise you might hear in the background sometimes is my ice maker. It makes a lot of noise. I don't know why. But it works fine, so I'm not messing with it. Okay. Now, I'm going to put my zip tie in on the side here and just bring it around. Actually, I'm going to put it in through this direction. I normally go on the other side, but this is going to work easier since the tails are on that side. Okay. Going to zip tie it. Don't pull it all the way down yet. Now you want to pull it up off your bow maker or your hand, whichever method you're using. Spin it around so that the clamp part is in the back. I'm going to tighten it down just a little bit more and grab a chenille stem or a pipe cleaner. I'm going to use a pipe cleaner to attach it to my bow with. I need a bigger one than that. Let's see, I'm going to grab a green one. Alright. I have got to go chenille stem shopping. But this won't show anyway, so it's fun. Now, make sure, give everything a final look. Make sure it's all still right before you finalize it with that final pull of the zip tie. It can be undone, but you really don't want to. It's a pain in the bottom. Okay. Now, pull it nice and tight as I can get it. Miss Maggie's in here and I can't use my GUN. Just won't work today. So I'll just trim it off with that. Okay. Now it's time to fluff our bow. Okay. And this bow is going to be kind of a, it'll go from on the top of the wreath, like I said, and it's going to kind of cascade down. Oh, it's so pretty. It's so girly. It's so pink and white and girly. Put my fingertips in the other one. Fluff. Fingertips and fluff. Okay, that looks cute. I'll play with it again once I get it on the actual swag. But there's my little bow for the swag, and we just have these single tails coming down for a cascading effect, and then the other tails are on the top. Okay, let me put my bow maker over here, slide my glass plate back down, and I'm going to grab the swag. Hold on. Okay, I need to flip this around at an angle y'all can see, because I don't think y'all can see from the other side. So, I'm not going to need any more of these. I may use that one. I'm not going to. Okay, let me start all over. This is the top here, okay? And for some reason, the way this mesh kind of fell, there's sort of a hole here at the top, if you will. There's an empty space. So that's obviously just the perfect spot for the bow, right? I was going to go ahead and trim off these chenille stems, the leftovers, but I'm not. I'm going to keep them on the sides in case I decide to attach something there. I don't know. I may. I know myself, and I'll change my mind at the drop of a hat. So we're just going to do it this way. We're going to sit the bow in here. Oh, how pretty. And we're going to just let it flow down. All right. So let me try to get it on either side. Ooh, sorry. I have a bun in my hair and it hit the camera. Okay, so let me try to get it on either side of these ruffles. Nice and even. Now flip my swag over. And now pull tight and spin. Don't mess up my hanger. Okay, spin, spin, spin. You could actually use this for your hanger if you wanted to. Wasn't really necessary to add a second one, but oh well. I'm going to go ahead and trim this excess off because I'm not going to need it. Alright, I'm going to trim these little excess pieces off the hanger too. Alright. Now let me fluff my bow back up. Make my tails just a little bit shorter on the top. Okay, so I'm going to bring this down here. Got a hot glue gun right there. I don't want to turn my fan. Got too much stuff going on right here. What do y'all think of that? I think I'm going to trim the top tails down just a tiny bit. Not much. Oh, my little personal fan that keeps me cool, keeps me from overheating. Okay, I'm going to bring this down. Well, this one was a tiny bit longer anyway, so I'm going to bring it down about an inch. Yeah, that looks better. Now it's back inside the mesh line. Okay, and this one I'll bring down about ½ inch because it was not as long as the other one. That looks better. I like that. Okay, so now I'll spin it back around and show y'all. See, that looks better, right? Just a little bit shorter tail. That's all I had to do. Now what I'm going to do is attach these ribbons at certain key points. I'm just going to make kind of a loop like this. And let's see, should I attach it with this brown one here? I think so. Move these green ones out of the way. Now I'm glad I used the different colors because I've got myself a little color coding system here. I may always use different colors when I do these swags from now on. That way I can see what I'm doing. I know exactly which one I'm grabbing, at least. Okay, so I'm gonna scrunch, squish, gather this ribbon together. I poked myself. Okay, and in the center, on this first piece of mesh that's below it, I'm gonna twist down my ribbon. And don't worry, this all will be covered up with flowers. And then we're gonna do another one, maybe a little shorter one, and then we'll have tails. Okay? Oh, my poor little fan just keeps getting knocked around. Oh, okay, stay. All right. Now, one more loop here. Twist those inside, and I like to kind of run your hand underneath it to give it some volume under there. And with the next, well, actually, I have to use a green one on this one. Even though I might have to use a green one on this one. Okay, I'm using a green one on this one because I won't have enough room if I don't. Yeah, here we go. My tails are not as long as I would like them to be, but that's just the way it fell, you know, that's the way it landed. I can add more ribbon, obviously, and I may add more ribbon. I don't know yet. When I do these things, I just kind of do them as I go, really. I know a lot of people start off with the entire thing planned out in their head, and I kind of have a different approach. I sort of just start with what I want to use, the materials I want to use, and I poked myself with a ribbon, or yeah, with a little wire and the ribbon, and it just, okay. A lot of people just start out knowing exactly what they want to do and exactly where they want to put everything, and I kind of work it all in as I go. So that's just a little bit different, but different folks, different strokes, right? Okay. Now, so we've got our little cascading effect there, and once I start adding flowers and ribbons, it's going to take on a whole different look as well. But we got some room down here to do something else. I don't know what I'll do. Could make another ribbon. We'll see. So now it's time for me to start trimming the flowers off of the stems. I'm going to go ahead and lay the swag to the side so I can start trimming the flowers that I need. And again, I'm just going to show you, these are my inspiration flowers here. These very pale pink calla lilies. I can't speak. Calla lilies. I can't say it. They almost match this pink ribbon. Okay. And other flowers are, knock my fan over again. The other flowers are my green peonies. And they've got lots of little extras on them here. Extra little doodads. And then I've got the eucalyptus. Alright, fan, you just lay down. Lay down, take a nap. Okay. My pink eucalyptus. And white lavender. I don't know if that's a real thing or not, but these are white. And an array of roses in all different colors. Well, all different shades of pink anyway, including white, ivory, sort of a light peach pink, and darker pink. Okay. I think those are all the flowers I'm going to use. Unless I decide while I'm doing this to go pull something from my flower shelf. Which is possible. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start trimming these, and I'll be right back, guys. I got to put some Benadryl on this little itchy stick, okay? I'll be back. Okay, I've got my Benadryl, and I got the flowers out. I did take these and fluff them up with a blow dryer. I took the blow dryer on warm and just blew it around these flowers so they kind of fluff out. They're kind of smushed up when she first brought them to me. But the only thing I wanted to make note of real quick was to keep your flowers on there. I mean, keep your leaves on there when you first trim them. You can take them off, but you may want them. Some people don't use the leaves, but sometimes it just adds that extra little something that the wreath needed. So I'm going to keep my leaves on here for now. And if I don't like the way it looks when I put it in the wreath, I'll just pull it off. It's that simple. Okay? Okay, with the eucalyptus, they are so long that I don't know if they're going to actually work. I need them to be a little bit shorter, so probably what I'll do is just trim these off, but I'm not going to cut any of the eucalyptus yet, because once you cut it, you can't put it back, right? So I'll do that as we are working on the wreath. Okay. So let me bring the swag back over here. The first thing I'm going to do is put on the calla lilies that my daughter asked me to make a wreath with. Those are definitely my challenge part. Okay. Figure out. See this? Can y'all see me working from there? Let me look down at my camera. Yeah, you can. Okay. So I'm just going to do temporary placement first. Don't ever glue everything in before you start. Just stop and take a look. Kind of plan where you want things to go. And I want these to be prominent because I'm going to go ahead and cut that off. I know I'm not going to need anything right there. I want these to be prominent because they are her favorite flower. Trim off that. Okay. Let's see. I don't want it to be smushed in by the... It's going to go somewhere about right here, but I don't want the bow to cover it either. Let's see. See, this is why I said these are my challenge piece. These are really hard for me to work with, me personally. I don't know if they're hard for everybody to work with, but for me, yes, they're hard. And I don't think I'm going to need the leaf on this particular one, so I'm going to pull it off. I just want to tuck it down so that it's kind of peeking out of the bow right there. Y'all see that? Okay. Now, see how many of these are there? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So I've got 6 of them total. Let's go in here. Just kind of... I'm going to leave the flower on this piece. I like that. I'm just going to work them down, kind of at an angle. Maybe even at the bottom, I'm going to turn the direction rather from up to down. Okay, so I'm going to put one right here. All right, I'm going to leave the leaf on that one. Fold my mesh down. And then I've got 3 more left. So I'm going to do these, I'm going to do in the opposite direction. I'm going to take these and point them down. Okay. That's cute. That works. And then one peeking out over here from the tail. It is hard to work anything like this, any florals in the mesh. I just don't want to go. I may have to trim down my stems. Yeah, that stem's pretty long. But for now, I just want to see how it's going to look. Okay, and then I'm going to put the very last one, maybe right here, poking out at the very bottom to say, hi. So this is my my plan for them. This is how they're going to flow on the wreath. I like it, and I'm going to make it their permanent home. Here we go. Make sure y'all got your hot glue guns on. Okay, everybody, let me tell you what I did. I went in, remember I have I had green pipe cleaner right here, and I didn't like the tails. They were just like this long after everything else was pushed in and around on them. So I went in and made 2 more tails. The cascading is only 2 layers of tails, right? So here I've just extended the cascading tails, and all I have to do is dovetail these ribbons, and I'm done with this wreath. Let me tell you one other thing I did though. I made them 2 different lengths. I made the pink one just a little bit longer than the white one because I wanted that pink to be visible, and I just wanted it to have, you know, I wanted it to have its little piece of the glory too, right? When you're doing these tails, sometimes they can all get hidden, and this pink definitely needs to be displayed because it is too pretty not to display. And my daughter just walked in from work, and she loves it. Yay! So I'm happy. That's all that matters. As long as she likes it. She said it looked like a wedding wreath. I said, it does, actually. Okay, so we're going to just kind of change the angle here, at which we do some curves. Just do some little curvy curves on it. And this one is off to, well, hold on. This one is off to its new door for my daughter. I'll probably refluff the bow, obviously. Okay? Pictures to come at the end. And I want to thank you guys for watching my video. And definitely, please like and subscribe to my channel. I plan on posting a couple times a week, as many videos as I can get in, of wreath tutorials and other DIY tutorials as I can. I love to try new and different things, and yeah, so let's have some fun together. Y'all hit that like button and subscribe. Okay, guys? See you later. See you next time.